And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the meeting to properly vote. Roll call, sorry. Roll call first.
Loretti,
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
Youngs,
Here.
Thomas, Hager, Schwartz,
Here.
Croft,
Here.
Hanson,
Here.
Erickson, Bose, Bauer, your Luchin, here, Hiller,
Here.
Wolf.
Okay, in the motion, for the meeting properly vote.
Mr. Fibus. Oh, sorry, Mueller. You're the top.
It says the meeting is properly posted, then you need approval. You approve the agenda.
We added it so that if anything needs to be moved around in the agenda, like say you're gonna, something from the bottom to the top, give you the opportunity to do it. Are there any?
Then I need a motion to approve the agenda. Dollar, second. Support. By Jimmy Francis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we can approve the minutes of March 25th, 2025 as presented. Everybody look at the minutes.
I have one correction.
Well, first, let's make a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion. Anybody make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Who's that? Okay, Doug, and I need a second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Tanner. Okay, what you got?
In, near the bottom of the first page, it's talking about, stumpage amount and what it was last year.
Yep.
The last year's amount is incorrect. It should be 427,220.
All right, thank you.
Okay, with that correction, we approve the minutes.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Communications, Kristen, do you have any communication?
No, I do.
Okay, committee and chairman's report, you usually sit around, I'll go to my left. Go to my left.
Don't have anything.
Dan,
I have a quick item from basically the finance report or the finance committee met a week ago, and many of the items from the finance committee are now on this agenda. For instance, the approving an advertising county manager came from that. So that's gone well. We also took a look at the first financial summary report, the new summary report that you'll see here today as well from the finance report or from the finance committee last week. Also from the 4-H and extension, we're having an upcoming meeting, but I just wanted to give a report that the summer camps are starting to really draw in students. We're hiring also 2 students for the summer as summer helpers in extension and 4-H. So that's all going well. They're just all gearing up for the height of summer. That's their busy season. We also had a memorial building meeting, but I'm sure some of you you'll get that at the end, right? Okay, that's it for me.
does everybody like what Roxanne, she spent some time making this summary, it's easier to read for us.
Yeah.
And everything like guys like that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Roxanne, it's simplified enough.
Good.
Karen.
Okay, I have a human services meeting, which was held on April 7th. We had a resignation of Vic Lynette, and we appointed a new member, Lauren Snyder. Lauren is the director of nursing at Villa Maria and Rehabilitation Center in Early. She has a bachelor's of science in nursing, will soon be completing her master's in adult gero primary care nurse practitioner in May. So we are very fortunate to have her on board. as a part of the Human Services Quarter. We're also celebrating Vix and Carol Match's years of service here at this county meeting tonight. Human Services budget was reviewed and approved for 2024. Year-end numbers are not quite complete yet. Human Services will be working with the clerk to place the budget in the same format for revenue that is used by the clerk's office, which is to compare actual budget. That's in process. Children and Family Unit, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. The unit partners with law enforcement to build on positive relationships with students. Truancy continues to be an issue within the county schools, and they're working on creative ways to resolve. Adult and children 2025 placements were reviewed for children in out of home care, same as last board meeting, 2 in treatment foster homes and 2 in foster homes. 3 children in county licensed foster homes, and the termination of parental rights for the 2017 placements being monitored by the board of directors was discussed and scheduled was delayed until August. Another delay for this particular case. And there's another case that's for termination of parental rights that's in beginning phases. Discuss the work from home policy. The policy was revised to allow work from home 50% of the time with exceptions for extenuating circumstances in which the director has that discretion. Policy was approved, limit work time from home to 50% of work hours. Important to have coverage on site daily to accommodate those who walk in to meet with staff. Policy was approved by the Human Services Committee. Float social worker job description was revised. Additional work duties added to the job description to include community support program. And federal funding has been delayed for SHIP, which could affect our financials for human services. There's a bi-directional interface that's required for a computer system, which is required by the state. Roy Hager helped Human Services to understand the issue. A file is needed and the file doesn't exist. Additional work is needed. And that's something that we have to bring. Transportation. A transportation meeting is scheduled tomorrow to discuss opportunities with Bay Area rural transportation. The county actually did have a contract with them in the past, but that was during COVID. And there was limited use for that transportation services. So that contract was discontinued around that time. The Bay Area Rural Transportation, known as BART, is interested in talking about re-engaging with our county for transportation. And so we're going to have that conversation tomorrow. We met with an organization called Gibbon, Vilas County, it's Bogivic Iron Vilas Network. And they may be participating in the discussions around transportation too that will affect Western Vilas County. So they may be engaged with us in that process. Next aging meeting is June 12th. Nutrition advisory meeting was April 10th, and the next Hurley Senior Center board meeting is April 30th. The Mercer Cook position is still open. There have been a couple of candidates. I haven't heard anything final recently. So the site is eating congregate on Wednesdays with meals delivered from Hurley. Attendance has improved. Additional activities have been developed at the Mercer Senior Center. And Tuesday and Thursday, they have a coffee day when the center is open from, I think, 8:30 in the morning to 8 to 11. They also have had this midweek mingle, which was started, and it's going actually quite well. And the attendance has been going quite good with the midweek mingle, which provides an educational program to the community on a weekly basis, every Wednesday before the meal. And then Human Services is doing a SWOT analysis in May. Performance improvement tool, which is used to assess department organizations' internal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Info will be used to develop a plan for the future. Date hasn't been finalized yet. That's my information.
Thank you, Karen.
Hey, I'm gonna start out with Sony. We had a meeting last week. Permits are running a little behind. Starting off, I think it's kind of what's going on as far as government for that. So, we're looking for someone to take Jerry's place, Sony. And so far, we haven't really come up with a big candidate. Airport. We're in a changeover right now. It's gonna be flight change to the Chicago flight. And it starts on May 15th. And anyone using the line right now, they'll have to follow close. So the changeover. Working on the handbooks. Got about 3/4 completed for the employees that are out there. Manager has completed all his for all his permits. And he's got national weather and everything completed, so. Now he's moving him up to the top step of each floor. Recycling, and I am eating. But it's a bunch of food lines. Programs. For that January was discussed, that we were gonna be providing recycling, land and water. And we'll have one meeting between two. And that's all I have.
Al, how do you think that's gonna affect us with that lake run in Chicago? We're gonna be, people ain't gonna like that, can't gonna be a connecting flight, eh?
Well, I see it's gonna be a problem to start out with.
I think,
The thing they're using, the excuse they're coming up with, it goes from Ironwood to Chicago and then down to Dubuque, Iowa. And that's where the plane is anchored for the night. That comes back in the morning. And they hadn't changed the time coming into Chicago. They figured that as far as East Coast, West Coast hookups, it shouldn't be a little bit of a problem. It's a matter of half hours.
yeah, 'cause we're doing really good at the airport, our numbers are up.
Yeah. January, February were really impressive. And I don't know if it was skiers or what, but even in Minneapolis, runs were coming in with 3/4 of the planes. I think we're gonna make the federal, so we'll get our federal money.
Too bad. Carl, you got anything? Hey, what did you pay, Molly? Okay. Mario?
Recycling, airports, IT.
I'll do IT. So IT, we covered just a little bit. We didn't have a lot this month. Website will be online for the end of December of this year. The old website is being phased out. Budget's on track. Danny's working on some refurbs for computers. Original budget amount was 30 grand. He's hoping to get that down to 14,000. New fresh desk system, ticketing systems up and running, and that's been going pretty quick. And then last thing was, like he saved 18,000 on refurb computers that he's been working on inside. So, hopefully to save 18,000 on some refurbs right now. So other than that, we had a memorial building meeting. Thank you.
Before you go, I know one thing in IT, it got brought up, they're looking into it. They're looking at getting the, don't freak out. They're not just getting us.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be like if everybody want, but like, I have respect for him, Pat, Collins, they don't want them, we'll still give them the paper, but we're looking at getting iPads for the county board. This gets into the county, so just talk me through out there.
Kristen, you're gonna throw some numbers together.
Put stuff together. It's-
But it's not gonna be mandatory and yeah, don't worry. All right, Dougie, what do you got?
We had a short meeting at the Memorial Building. We're getting some prices on landscaping. For improving the outside, cutting some trees down and getting some landscaping done. Concrete work, making a concrete ramp, into the building. And getting prices on that. And, removal of old wiring on the stage. Looking at getting some prices of getting that done. The baby grand piano supposedly is, has a new home. It's still at the Memorial Building, and as soon as it dries up, they're gonna move it. So that's about it.
Yeah, instead they take it and they lined up somebody to move it, they just want to wait until it dries out, and I said, that's fine. And then we did get new lights and the fans and everything, I guess people are liking that. The ones that played darts the other weekend, they had a big dart tournament there, and they turned on the fans and they liked it. So the Memorial Building came a long way here. Okay, my report, I did a couple things. If anybody wants to go to this, it's on May 30th. It's peak. They're gonna have a groundbreaking. More details will come. I don't know what time it is, but he sent me this. So they're gonna be doing that. The recycling board and the land and water, I put them together. I did not combine the people. I just combined them because recycling only was meeting for 15 or 20 minutes. And like Rick Bowles was on it, it took longer to get there than the meeting lasted. So Pat, Paul Muller's gonna take Roxanne's spot on the Land and Waters, so them two will go with it, and Roy Hager, which is the chair of Land and Water, was already on recycling, so it was smart. So we ain't getting, saving per diems by combining them. Economic development's coming really good. We didn't have a meeting last month. We're having one May 7th. We got some speakers coming, and that's going really good. And then the last day I got, we're gonna honor two people here tonight. They were both of them were on the county board. They both served on human services. First one is Vic Ouellette. He served on our board. He was elected to the county board in 2013. He was appointed to the economic zoning, economic development, human services, and natural resources. Served 6 years as an elected official. At that point, Vic was appointed as a citizen member to the Human Services Board and the Economic Development Committee. He served on the Human Services Board from 2014 until 2024. There was an issue with the AG unit not treating the southern part of the county equitable at times. There was resolved during the tenure. Now all county received equitable aging services because of the expect up for the southern end. It was on the county board during the mining disputes. It was a major source of conflict, but a good mining ordinance was created. The Economic Development Committee during Vic's tenure, the early and merger chambers became more involved in tourism development and learned to work together successfully. On the Natural Resources Committee, Heather Pompkins was hired. We all know what a successful county leader Heather is. It was great out here. Vic had something to do with that. He picked her. Vic felt great satisfaction on being on the Human Services Board. This board touches the lives of everyone in the county, from infants to seniors. He is proud to have served on the board. The Human Services staff is a difficult job to manage and daily. Again, thank you, Vic, for your great work. Thank you, Vic.
Let me get this.
And the second one, we're going to celebrate.
Okay.
Oh, that's
You have anything you want to say for your years of support?
Sure, well, I get over, there were people
But you're too small. Lots of things.
You don't mind that I just laughed through the whole meeting.
That's it.
Well, first of all,
Up to the front.
I want to thank you for recognizing service to the community. And I'm very proud to receive this. I also have to add.
You bet you can.
But anyway, somebody once said, don't ever give Vic the opportunity to speak, because you probably never have a chance to do that again, because I tend to talk too much. I'm not going to do that tonight. But it's very good to see some of my old colleagues from the board. And one of the greatest things that I think a person can do in the communities that they live in is find ways to provide community service to the community that they serve. Every organization and literally every community is crying for people, whether it's to help, whether it's churches, clubs, or whatever. So I think one of the greatest services that a citizen can do is to provide service to his community or her community. And I encourage everyone here and everyone who hears the message is to find ways that you can make the community better. In the 26 years that I've lived in Mercer and Iron County, as I was asked to try and put something together, I realized that out of those 26 years, there has never been a year that I have not been serving this community, the Iron County as well as Mercer. And it's one of the highlights of my life. In every community that I have lived in, I've tried to make it better. And that's what I've tried to do here. And I thank you all very much for recognizing my service. Thank you.
Don't forget your flowers.
Well, I'm gonna leave them there for now.
Okay. Do you want to honor Carol?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to honor Carol.
Carol, you want to come up to the front? Why not?
Carol. On behalf of all Iron County, we thank you for your years of service on the Iron County Human Services Board. For all the time you spent serving on the Iron County Board of Supervisors. Dedication to the people of Iron County is appreciated. Karen served 4 years on the Iron County Board of Supervisors. She was the chairman of Human Services for 2 of them, weren't you, Karen?
Carol.
And the other 22 years she'd been on the Human Services Board. And when I first got on the board, I went on the Human Services Board with Carol. And Carol, she taught me, she has passion for people. She really does. She cares about everybody. And she taught me that. And she was always good on there. And she thought of everybody in the county, young and old. And for that, Carol, I thank you for everything you did for us.
Well, now I have to follow Vic. Is that fair? And also you have to know, I'll be honest, my mantra is, I work for a cause, not applause. So you gotta know this is way beyond what I like. Anyhow, human services, it's aptly named. It's human people serving humans. And that's what they do. It's, I believe, the biggest department in the county with the most staff, biggest budget, and so much of it has to go unnoticed because of HIPAA laws, and you can't talk about these things. And I see these social workers come in, and I see the stress that they have to deal with. It's amazing. In my 23 years, you first start out, and you don't know diddly squat, and they have all of these different programs and acronyms, and you think, oh gosh. And it takes a while, and I've gone through a lot of new county board members coming on, and they do have to learn. It's usually, I say, at least take a year just to figure out what the heck they're doing there. It's been a ride. It's been a learning process and a challenge. And this challenge will continue for the department as it moves along. There's always the normal budgetary concerns. You always deal with that. The staffing positions, and I was on the committee that did the hiring, the interviewing. And that's hard to try to fill some of those positions with qualified people. The people we did hire, for the most part, were wonderful, qualified people. Some of the challenges besides budget, etc., we had to deal with one of our employees being shot down and killed in the street. And we had to deal with one of the employees extorting the department from thousands of dollars. These are just little asides. We had COVID, and of course, what that all brought. And we got through all of it. Besides, these people, these employees still did their job. And they put in long hours. They're devoted to beyond. They're just fantastic. And we have to really realize, and it's just too bad, we can't give them enough publicity because of the nature of their job. But know that they're there. And I know when I have referred some people to the department for various reasons, some of them, they just say, no, I can't do it because you have to disclose your income, various things. Some people don't want to do that. And, but there are laws there are state laws, federal laws that our department has to go through. And that's what you deal with. So just know that we have a great department there, and it will continue even without an old fart like me. So thank you. Thank you.
We are having cake and we're celebrating these two. So stick around, have a piece of cake and some cookies and a little water and.
Thank you both.
Look, I have a question for you.
Nothing.
Well, I talked to Carol about this a little bit, but if we're required to stay here for the entire meeting, are we entitled for the other time?
You don't need my list. Yeah, that's all I had. The only thing I forgot is Eric. I forgot forestry. Eric, can you tell us about forestry?
Well, you're gonna make me follow both of
I wish you had some carbon credits, but I know you don't.
They won't deal with that tonight. All right, so I'll be quick. Forestry stone for debt of today is $473,293. Last year we were at $496,271. So we're just under 23,000 behind last year, which for this time of year is really not that bad. The crew has been working, starting to get our parks ready to open. Lake of the Falls will be open next week for the fishing season, and Saxon Harbor, Weber Lake, and Schaumburg Park will be opening the 15th of May. With the looks like road restrictions will be coming off shortly, we'll probably putting docks in at Saxon Harbor around the 6th of May. Almost, I think we only got three open slips there right now, so we're almost filled up. Forestry side, they've been finalizing our timber sales for a spring bid opening, those will be advertised, go out for advertising next week, for the bid opening on June 11th. So we're gearing up for our busy summer season, which will get started next week with campgrounds and all that good stuff. And then the questions are starting to roll in, when are the ATV trails gonna open? As soon as they dry up, they'll be open, so, if anybody has any questions, otherwise, that's all I got.
Thank you, Eric. And then after you explain the metallic lighting thing.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes that. All right, number 9, administrative coordinator's report.
Thank you, Murph. So I know we've got a few new faces in the audience, so I'm gonna back up a little bit in time. And last December, I volunteered to be Iron County's administrative coordinator for 6 months, so until June 30th. And I'm 4 months in, so I'm giving a report just on how things have been going in those first roughly 4 months that I've been in the position of administrative coordinator. The administrative coordinator used to be the county clerk, or in the past year was the deputy clerk, who performed that function on top of their full-time job for $5,000 a year. We all agreed back in October, November, December, that the county had some finance, HR, and management gaps that needed to be filled. We had budget shortfalls we need to look at. We had an audit material weakness that we needed to remedy. We have software project needs, building maintenance needs, HR and employee handbook issues, and so on. So we decided to work on the problems instead of kicking the can down the road. So in the past 4 months, since starting in this position officially at the beginning of January, we've had several major accomplishments. Right now, this week, we're in the middle of our audit. And for the first time, Iron County has entered its own year-end journal entries for cash, receivables, payables, and deferred revenue. This tremendous accomplishment required many hours working with department heads and working with the clerk's office, treasurer's office, and so on to gather information and to change some processes. The county website upgrade was mentioned just a little bit ago when we were talking about the IT committee. It's good timing because we found out 2 weeks ago that the current website platform is shutting down at the end of 2025. The website upgrade will be modern technology, and hopefully will be upgraded by late fall. And we have several great teams leading the website upgrade effort. I'm confident they can meet the year-end goal. There are several grants in the works for the website project, and there's also opioid settlement matching funds that we're taking a look at. I know other teams are also working on grants. For example, I know forestry and conservation are always looking at grants. We started exploring some new finance software with our county department heads. Our current finance software is not meeting our needs. It requires many departments to run a second finance system. For example, forestry runs QuickBooks to track everything. Highway department runs a totally separate state system, which they have to run. Human services runs several different finance systems. And we need to be able to integrate some of those systems that are required with our current finance system. And right now it requires lots of double entry. And as many of you know, if you've worked on these kinds of things, and double systems equals double error. So having a new system that can do a little bit more integration with some of these required systems, or replace some of these systems that we're running simply because our system is insufficient, would eliminate some of that double entry and improve accuracy across the county and in several departments. Eliminating double entry would also allow staff to focus on more important work or revenue producing tasks. We also started exploring how we can get county ordinances online and how we can start reviewing and updating ordinances. Many of our ordinances have not been updated in 30 years, and they are all right now in paper form in a large book. And not very well organized. We recently had a DEI open records request that required collection of information, countywide DEI meaning diversity, equity, and inclusion. There is a committee at the state called GOAT, Government Operations Administration, something, task force, I'm sure. So that was a little bit of work to get that all done. The other thing that I've been working on with several people assisting is creating a new financial report. Our financial system for the county doesn't produce very meaningful financial reports. So I extracted data from our system and created a packet for the board so that they could have some more meaningful data. And the first section goes through a 2024 preliminary balance sheet prior to the audit, and then a 2025 balance sheet up to the end of first quarter, and then budget to actuals for each department. We never really saw a department level revenue lined up with expenses prior to this. So got that for preliminary data, again, unaudited prior to the end of, or up to the end of 2024 and then for first quarter. So as of the end of first quarter this year, we're 25% for the year and our revenues are 44% in, and that's largely due to tax levy coming in heavy at the beginning of the year. And our expenses are 33% spent for 25% through the year. But again, some of that's just because some of the things are front end loaded. And it's too early to say how things are for 2024, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that until the auditors are done with a few more days. But things are going well at this point with the audit. It seems many of the changes that we've made are proving to be worthwhile, and that's been good. So I would encourage the other supervisors when you have your next meeting to speak with the department heads, ask them how things have gone over the past couple of months, and I encourage you to ask for the department heads' input because they have been a large part of the team that's been moving things forward in the past 4 months. And I'm speaking, as the person in this position, and as we look for the successor in this position, to remember that the county manager works for you, the board. It's your boots on the ground, solve problems, provide direction, smooth, efficient, and accountable county operations. The county manager coordinates the day-to-day work with the department heads, county committees, and the county board. And whoever they are, that county manager needs to be the glue that holds everything together in our county and reports progress to board members, helps the board members get what they need. The committees obviously still have the department heads reporting to them, but the county manager is the one just in the office every day, holding everything together. And we wouldn't have the accomplishments above without Murph being there also pretty much every day. So I wanted to recognize that. So my biggest concerns today, we've got an agenda item later on related to the county manager is that as I wind down my 6 months here, I don't want to lose the momentum that we built with our department heads. And I don't want to lose ground on the accuracy of our county finances. We've made progress. And as I wind down my temporary role in the next 2 months, I hope we can keep things moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne. Roxanne does a great job at all that book stuff, all that stuff. It's not my wheelhouse at all, and I think her precision and clarity, it's coming. Is anybody got any public comment? Anybody got anything to say? There's a lot of you, we ain't used to that. And anything to stable to number 11, discussion action on resolution 2025-4001, approved Wagner County Common Catholic Site Maintenance Reclamation Fund Reserve. You need a motion. Motion by Carl Brown, second,
Support.
supported by Pat. Okay, Eric, explain this to us.
All right, so this is similar to the resolution you guys passed, a few months ago for original D. This is a reserve fund that was originally set up as a highway committee and the Fourth Committee back in September, October of 2019. County operates 10 gravel pits throughout the county. 9 of those are forestry pits. One of them was a highway pit. And this fund was set up back in 2019 that as towns took material out of the county-owned pits, they would pay the county $1 per cubic yard for royalties or stumpage and 50 cents a cubic yard for reclamation. Reclamation is when these pits are done, they've got to be put back into safe condition. Side slopes got to be papered down, they got to be reseeded, things like that. That reclamation fund was also set up to allow us in our active pits to strip additional area out for more gravel to be removed, things like that. And then finally, the third part of that account was for future reserves for the potential of buying land that had gravel on it. And we're in competition with all the gravel crusher operations that are all looking for the exact same thing. But unlike trees, gravel is, you can't grow gravel, there's a limited supply of it. So the intent of that was to have this fund that you're looking at tonight, that we would put the money that we took in towns into that account. As we did pit maintenance, we would draw out of that account and we would have a fund balance sitting there with the opportunity came to purchase the property. All of that was the intent, but the function of whether it fell through the cracks for both or where it landed, the actual fund itself was not created in the county system. And this will do that. And then it will add, we've calculated, and it should be on the back of the resolution you're looking at, what that fund should have in it right now. I think that number's like 100,000. 177. So this resolution will just formally create that fund and in our account system.
One more thing about this, me, Roxanne and Eric went to the towns meeting where all the towns get together. And they were asking us for a little relief on this. So the less they have to pay, the more gravel they would crush. So Eric went back and he crunched the numbers. And I don't know where he came from. I don't want to speak out of turn since you wrote this all down, but what did we come to? Did we come to an agreement?
We have not formally gone back to it yet. That'll be in June. Our next
Come back in June with a number of programs.
But yes, we will be able to provide a little bit of that $1.50. Because understandably, Iron County as a whole is taking in that money from the towns. There's tax relief we can do there by not charging the towns much. But at the end of the day, we have to, it's like gravel limited supply. So we got to be careful on how we do that too. That there's no free lunch in this case.
And Eric's right too, you gotta reclaim them because you can't have a 30-foot face or something like that.
Every one of our permits is licensed by the state of Wisconsin and overseen by Iron County zoning as well. And part of the licensing for that bid is a formal reclamation plan, which requires me to do that. So one way, shape, or form, that's got to be done, whether it comes out of county budget or this one.
Thank you for explaining that, Eric. I got a motion in a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Number 12, discussion action on resolution 2025-4010, support of Ashley County's request for congressionally directed spending to replace its emergency service wind sled. Could you get a motion?
Motion. I'll second.
Seconded by Tanner. All right, we're going to discuss this. They're looking to get another emergency sled. I think, like, when was it, Carl, 10 years ago, when our people got trapped out on the ice, they came right away. It's something that we also support in this. So they get to pull out the ice, or if you got to get the manual on it and stuff like that. It's win for all of us, and we're just trying to help him. Okay, I got a motion in the second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, and 13, discussion action resolution 2025-4011 designate April as Iron County Child Abuse Prevention Month. Motion? Mother made a motion.
I'll second that.
Karen seconded it. Discussion is that, yeah, the month of April, Child Abuse Prevention Month. I screwed this up at the beginning of the month because I was gonna make the whole month, I was gonna do the resolution, but Roxanne's grandson was in the audience and he was moving two together in like 50 seconds. That quote is never forgotten to say it. It's fascinating. Okay, so I got a motion, all in favor? Aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries. Discussion action resolution 2025-4012 approving and advertising a county manager position. Need a motion.
I make that motion.
Karen, a second,
Support.
or by Pat. Okay, we brought this by finance. Kurt made up it's in your packet. Kurt made up a resume of everything. We're gonna spread it, box down where we gonna put it. We'll put it in a lot of places.
Like 18 places.
Yeah, we're gonna get for it. We didn't put a money amount on it. Everything else we did except for the money, we want to see what kind of range we keep coming. But this is a no brainer. We need this. Kurt was doing it the year before. Roxanne's doing it now, and we need somebody to keep doing the torch. But Roxanne's also right. She's done in June. We started department meetings. I still want her to come. There's some things that we did that we're gonna keep doing to make sure they come through. All of us are part of it, but at least we're there making sure that no one drops the ball. It's like some of the stuff that comes out of here, comes out of the department, it means a lot of these resolutions, there are workers have ideas and we want to make sure they get it to the board. Just like this website that came out of there, just financial things coming out of there. They got good ideas and we just want to keep them going. So does everybody here agree that we need a manager?
Yes.
You have a motion? To have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. Future agenda items,
Can I just add something I forgot? You were ahead sites. So just for the extra people, UW Extension Office is looking for any kind of photos from anywhere in the county or on the website. Historical photos, new photos. So if you have anything that looks like it would look good on the website, send them over to Becky at UW Extension Office. We'll get them on our website.
and another thing too, I forgot to tell you, is we checked into it. We're gonna try to help the towns be on our website and they'll have their own. Roxanne, I'm not computer savvy, tell them.
So right now,
We're gonna try to help the towns and the villages and stuff. We're gonna take you into the new century with us.
they'll have a sub-page off of the county website that each of the town sub-page will be able to have their own content management. So in other words, somebody in that town will be able to be the one updating or putting the pictures on or whatever. So they'll have some freedom to make it their own.
They can use some garbage, gas, maybe pay your water bills, stuff like that. You're gonna do it. And it's gonna help. Okay, anything else in the future agenda items on the next meeting? Okay. Usually last Tuesday of the month, we just moved it up here because we want to see the good folks in Mercer. And we're covering everything on this thing. I want you to all stay here and have cake fellowship with our two honorees. Be the